Hi guys, hope you're doing well, hope you're thriving. My name is Doreen. If you're new here, you are welcome to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Thank you for loving the channel. Thank you for always clicking to watch the videos. I am always super delighted to see comments from the returning subscribers and the new subscribers. You are all welcome. On my channel, I talk about experiences. I share experiences and lessons about different topics, what I've learned, what I'm learning about homemaking, motherhood, marriage, and all that, money and everything that pertains life. I talk about everything. Sometimes I do vlogs, lifestyle, skincare, everything. Guys, I talk about everything on this channel. Yeah, so if you have not caught up on all the other videos that I've done, you can go and catch them. There's if you go to playlists, there's a playlist that has all my videos, and then the other playlists have different categories of things. There's like one of self-care. If you want to watch videos about self-care, they're in a certain playlist like that. Money matters, there's a certain playlist. Yeah, so you can always go to the playlist and then choose the videos that you want. But here I talk about everything and anything. Yeah, I enjoy sharing my lessons from the experiences that I've had, so that you don't have to make the same mistakes that I made. Yeah, you can get it right the first time. Yeah, so in this video, I'm going to be sharing about times and seasons. And like I have said before, I'm going to use my stories. I'm going to tell you some stories regarding that same topic, times and seasons. There is a verse in the Bible. It is Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 11 that says that everything is beautiful in its time. Let me read the real verse. The real verse says that he has made everything beautiful in its time. That's part 1 of the verse of Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 11. But the whole of chapter 3, the whole of Ecclesiastes chapter 3 talks about times and seasons. A time to sow and a time to reap, meaning that if you've not sowed, you will not reap. Let me read the whole chapter. Ecclesiastes chapter 3. The title is A Time for Everything. There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the sun. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to scatter stones and a time to gather them. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. Like when we had COVID, that was a time to refrain from embracing. A time to search and a time to give up. A time to keep and a time to keep and a time to throw away. A time to tear and a time to mend. A time to be silent and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace. Yeah, so and then verse 11 continues to say, he has made everything beautiful in its time. Yeah, so I thought that I would share about times and seasons. That's what I'm going to call this video, times and seasons. And just like, you know, in Uganda, we don't experience the 4 seasons, the winter, autumn, summer, and spring. We don't experience them, but they happen out there throughout the year. And like you're always sure that those seasons will come. So just like in life and everything that pertains life has seasons. And it is very important to acknowledge the seasons, embrace them, and learn everything that the season has to teach us. I want to tell you a story about timing, God's timing. I remember when I was preparing for my wedding, you know that whole process of the introduction and the wedding, there were one day, like it was Friday and Saturday, that whole thing of the cultural part of it, like just know that things were really tight. Like there's something that happens when someone starts to prepare a wedding or a function, Like there's something that happens, like things that were always together somehow start to fall apart and all that. The people that love you start putting up demands, and you're like, do you really want me to get married, or you don't want me to get married? Like, what is this all about? What is the fuss about? Like, why are you behaving like the way you are, yet you actually, want me to get married? Like, it's like the devil puts up forces from left, right, and center, like to stifle the whole process. Yeah, so I would like to I'm sharing this story in a way of sharing about God's timing, because we had set a date for our wedding, which was in August. And that date, of course, now during that time, you all know we're in the heat of COVID. That was 2020. We're in the heat of COVID. Like, it was at its peak. I remember, I think at that time, there were even no inter-district travels at that time. But I still believed God that this thing will happen, that it will happen. I'm like, no, it's the devil fighting. It will happen. Guys, that was me fighting. That was me fighting. The whole world was in a lockdown. How did I expect something like that to happen? Yeah, but anyway, time went on. The day came and the day went by. You guys, of course, I was not happy. I was not okay. I was like, the devil is winning. What? No. I'm like, the devil is winning. Anyway, it was not God's time. I remember I talked to my friend. Actually, she was my matron, my maid of honor, on my wedding. My friend Jean, we were chatting, we were jazzing. I called her. I was like, what is this? What is happening? And she told me, Doreen, when your time to get married comes, nothing will stop it. And I took that into my heart, and I was like, you know what? When my time comes, nothing is going to stop it. Yeah, so it encouraged me. That was very encouraging for me, because I was losing heart, to be honest. And not that the thing was not going to happen, not that my fiancé at the time, who is my husband now, was pulling out. No, not that, it was just a bad time. It was not the right time. We were in the middle of a pandemic, for crying out loud. Yeah, so we set a different date, which was in December. And I want to say that the part of He makes everything beautiful in its time. The problems that were happening, like before, at the beginning of the preparations, the issues that we're having with, some concerns being raised from parents from both sides, all those things, like some things that were against what we believe. Other things like, let me give an example. Like, my mom wanted us to do the function in the village, and I was like, if these functions are Friday and Saturday in different districts, like, how are we going to pull off, going to the village, having a function, then travel at night to come for the wedding and all that? Like, it was just so hard. So I was trying to convince her, to have the function in the same place, like, because our wedding was in Bara. So I was trying to convince her so that we can have the function in Bara the day before, and then the wedding, like, where there is no travel. Like, everyone comes, spends the night, attends the introduction and giveaway, and then on Saturday we attend the wedding and they go back home. And also considering the fact that most of my friends, most of our relatives were coming from Kampala. So I was like, people come from Kampala, then they go to, Kambuga. I come from Kambuga, Kanungu. And then at night they travel to Mbarara, and like, it was just going to be too much. So at the beginning of the preparations, I was trying to convince my mom. My mom was like, no, we should have the function at home. What? So all those things were happening. Yeah, so, but when the right time came, let me tell you something. Like, she didn't even, object. Like, when I told her, I was like, you know what, the functions, we are not going to have them in this month. We pushed them to this month, and we're going to have them in Barara, what. She was like, hey, okay, that's okay. People will come. I'm like, where is the person who was, saying that we should have the function in the village? Yeah, so, but that, that gave me assurance that the time we got married, which was in December, was the right time, because even the issues that we're having the other side, they were also resolved. Like no one was talking about the things anymore. Yeah, so God makes everything beautiful in its time. So I want to encourage someone out there, if you are working on something, if you're preparing something, and you feel like things are not coming together, you feel like, there's a discord somewhere, maybe it's not the right time. Maybe that is not the right time for it to happen, because when the right time comes, it will be beautiful. I want to encourage my single sisters. I've been single most of my life than I have been married. Like the bigger part of my life was single. I just got married like over 1 year and a few months ago. I want to encourage you that when the right time comes, the right person will come and your marriage will be beautiful. Like you've not run out of time. You've not run out of time, because we serve God, who is the author of time, God is the author of time. He knows that this is the right time. He knows that this is, the right place for this thing to happen. So don't lose heart. Don't lose heart. I'm here to encourage you to not lose heart. Keep your trust in God. Keep reminding God His word. Tell Him, God, you said in your word that this, and this. I am trusting you. I am depending on you. You have been faithful in other areas of my life. I know you can be faithful also in this one. Yeah, so that is the story I wanted to tell you about God's timing. And since then, everything that I'm doing, everything that I'm working on, I always ask myself, is it the right time? And is God in it? Like, do you have peace about it? Is the surrounding, or the environment, or the world, like the way they always say, the universe conspires to make sure that things happen? Like, is that what is happening, or something like that? Yeah, and then you can know that that it is God's timing. Yeah, so that is it for this video. Please share below some of the times that you have felt like sincerely this was God, and this was the perfect timing for this particular thing to happen, for this particular experience to happen. Please share with us in the comment section, so that someone out there can be encouraged in the word of God, and also encouraged to keep trusting God for the things that are going on in their lives, for the experiences, for the times and the seasons that they are in, to trust God that when the time comes, when the different season comes, that they will also enjoy it and it will be perfect. Yeah, so on this channel, we always say progress is progress, no matter how small. So keep moving, keep growing, and keep glowing. Thank you so much for watching.